All right, let's talk about some Godzilla, as Godzilla is entering a whole new era, or quite a different take on Godzilla. Let's get into it.
Welcome to the Dingus Den.
Welcome to the Dingus Den. We are back for yet another comic book review, where this time we are discussing the beginning of a new, well, I say new, it started last year, this brand new version of Godzilla, which is called, what, Kaisei? Is that right? Kaisei?
Yeah,
And yeah, and so they have like three main titles going off with it, and they just started like a new prequel series, and they're trying something new with a brand new Godzilla universe here, which is really interesting. And yeah, we'll get into that. But what did you think about this?
Yeah, it's all new. I liked it. It kind of. I know it's not an ultimate type universe where it's like a whole new reboot, but at the same time, though, it's just kind of cool exploring different facets of Godzilla. So
Yeah.
I've been kind of pleasantly surprised with the Kai stuff so far. So
Have you checked out any other stuff related to it?
yeah, I forgot what it's called, but it's the one where the dude has the Godzilla tail.
Oh, the Dead Zone.
Yeah, the Dead Zone one. I've checked that one out, and then
I've read the
I
first
read
one.
this one. But yeah, it's been cool. The artwork's been great. I've been really enjoying that, and yeah, overall, it's been interesting.
Yeah, I think that's the coolest thing about this is Godzilla. He's been around for, was it, over 70 years at this point, and they found a really cool new way to look at Godzilla. And that's what I like most about this. Is, I'll be honest, I do think it was a good story, but I think parts of the execution just didn't click for me. But
Yeah.
overall, though, yeah, I think it is a good Godzilla story that I give them big credit and kudos for trying something very different, and in a lot of aspects being ballsy with it too, in some ways too. And so like they're not scared to necessarily, I think, pull their punches for this whole brand new universe. They're like, let's just take Godzilla in concept. And yes,
Yeah.
Godzilla is still there as the big Godzilla beast, but they're like, let's kind of change everything else that we know about Godzilla though. And
It's a nice change from just Godzilla versus insert IP here. And then Godzilla just goes through and does Godzilla stuff with like the Turtles, then the Power Rangers, the Avengers, then the Justice League. So it's a nice change. It's actually Godzilla-centric stories instead of just Godzilla insert something else, and we're not really focusing on Godzilla like they were doing Godzilla versus cities. I think I picked up the Portland one because I live close to Portland, Oregon, and stuff along those lines. And it's like this is kind of refreshing because it's like, okay, well, if we have the Godzilla IP, let's play around with it and have some fun. And that's kind of what this feels like. Right? I do enjoy a different take on, like you said, though, not everything clicks, but it is fun. It is a fun read.
Yeah, definitely an interesting read. And at the end of the day, I do think it was a good read, and has me interested in checking out more of it. But I guess we'll just delve right into it.
Let's do it.
And yeah, it's pretty cool. Like I said, like there's been some really neat art with it. Like I love this other cover that they did here for it, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's some epic artwork in this, which is just super neat, and so awesome stuff. And wait, let's see here. Written by Tim Seeley, art by, oh god, I'm gonna butcher that last name, Nicola Sismigia.
That is an excellent job. That's what I'm thinking too. I think you did. I think you nailed that
one. But kudos to everybody who worked on the book, and so awesome stuff. So yeah, a lot of really great art with this one. So good stuff. And by IDW, definitely one of the big things from IDW nowadays too. So cool stuff. And I think as most Godzilla stories should, it begins with their sort of big Godzilla moment here.
Yeah.
Being able to see present day Manhattan, and then seeing Godzilla wreck. You see Godzilla be Godzilla, and why is this not showing?
I love the way this artist draws Godzilla's head. I think he makes the arms a little bit too small, but the way I love the big square jaw Godzilla look. It looks so badass. Maybe a little bit small in the arms, but still though, it looks so sick.
It's definitely going for more like the the Monsterverse Godzilla?
Yeah.
In a way, where like he's also very T-Rex like in that way. And so I really like seeing Godzilla just with like the green stuff. The green, like just like the last Godzilla movie, we had him being like all pink, and, and it's like, oh, here's all green now, and I'm like, oh, I like that. It's cool. It's just I think it's a cool color scheme with Godzilla that like would like to definitely see more of. So, but yeah, so we're introduced to Godzilla. Not only are we introduced to Godzilla, we also meet the main people, the main cast here of these different characters that are part of G-Force, not to be confused with G-Force from Disney's and guinea pigs and all that, but but yeah, we got all these characters here. Like we have their commander there, and we're seeing like all these people, like somebody who's already experienced from a G-Force in Japan, because this is the G-Force USA version. Somebody part of the Dead Zone Patrol, somebody with this pyrotechnics dude that's a social media nut, and then the most notable name here that people would know is Jet Jaguar.
My boy Jet Jaguar.
what a way to include him in this. Really funny. And so
I've been waiting for Legendary to include Jet Jaguar or a version of him in the live action movies, but I'm holding out hope.
Well, got a new one coming out next year. Who knows? Anything's possible, right? So, but yeah, we see, and then we're also introduced to this whole backstory as well, where Godzilla's destroying the city, and we meet this Jason character, who's like the main character of the story, and essentially we just see his life get ruined here, and that's what serves as the emotional backbone throughout this whole story, which I think was a solid vessel to latch onto through the course of the story. And like, just look at that, it's really cool. Really like that. And so, but yeah, he's set up to be this character that can like harness this Kaisei energy, which it's just like I said, they just take this premise of like this monster energy that Godzilla's full of, but then certain people can try to use it, and we don't necessarily see what the Dead Zone is in this, but like we obviously know that's a whole part of it. We literally have a series about the Dead Zone of like the aftermath of places, and so like it sets up the world of like this is just a Godzilla world, but more expanded into and kind of just taking ideas to try to make it its own thing than just, as we said earlier, it's just it being another Godzilla destroys the city.
Yeah, and if Godzilla did pop up like in the 1940s, the world would be very different today. And this kind of shows that walled-in cities, dead zones, kaiju defenses. Like it just wouldn't just roll along like normal, and we wouldn't be where we're at. Technology would be different, world would be different. It would be a whole different scenario. So it does kind of play into that too, which was another thing I liked about it.
Yeah, that's very fair. Another thing I like too is that for the first kaiju it used was oh my gosh, I don't remember his name. What's
Oh
this one's name?
yes.
But this
Oh
is the first kaiju that Godzilla fought. I haven't seen a
yeah.
lot of the old ones, but I've seen like the first two or three, and I'm like, I know this is the one that he fights in Godzilla Strikes Back. If you're a Godzilla fan, remind us who this is because I'm bad with names.
Oh, if my buddy was here now, he's a Godzilla fanatic.
Yeah,
He'd be telling us no problem.
yeah. I have a good friend too who's huge into Godzilla, and so, but yeah, that's it's really interesting though. I like that that was the first kaiju used, and um, yeah, and we do get all these moments as well with meeting this new team of people there, and they do spend a bit of time. Definitely spend a bit of time with Jason and setting him up since he's the main character. Um, and they kind of just they try to I feel like give every character a little bit, but then I also feel like I mean I guess it's just a problem with the team books is you only have so many pages, but there's a couple people there. I'm like, wait, who's that again? Sometimes,
Yeah.
it's just like why is the social media guy always there? Sometimes, uh, and so, but yeah, we see Jason. He's learning how to use his powers against the USAG force, and yeah, just sets up his character for him to like use this cool green energy, the Kaisei energy. So um, interesting stuff there. But yeah, they then go the alert to try to go. They're like, oh no, there's a kaiju because they just take care of kaiju's in general. And see, I don't think it ever gave this one a name in this, did it? It's bugging me. It's like, what is it? I don't remember. Uh, so, but yeah, we get the whole scene of them jumping out of the craft and taking them on, and I was thrown for a loop a little bit the first time I saw this guy's like social media thing of being like, wait, what? He's just videoing himself. I was like, where'd this come from? uh, being one of those annoying people. Okay, so
Angarius
is it?
is his name.
I
Angarius.
would have never pulled that out of
Never would. Yeah, yeah. But you were right though. It's Godzilla Raids Again. April came out in April 1955, and his name is Angarius.
There we go. So yeah, we see him fight against Agarius as like the first time being able to actually see the whole team in action, and seeing that the one person that was per the Japanese G-force, she has like this special like telekinetic ability. That is one thing that I do think about the team. Like even though I think a couple of the characters could have been tried to be fleshed out a little more, I get page limits and that they focus on what's most important first. But I will say, as far as like face value of all characters, um, they made each one definitely like their own thing. They didn't feel like there's two of the same kind of character at all.
I think though you're right though. If they would have spent more time at the beginning with kind of like, here's the new kid. Hey, new kid. Here's this. She's a like actually showed more of an introduction. Like you could have took a couple pages and fleshed out the team more than they did, and they did kind of move fast through that.
Yeah. If I had to give one note about this first issue, I would agree of just like if possible trying to do a couple more pages there to just include that in somehow or
Yeah.
however you can do it, because I know it took me a little bit. Social media guy, for instance, like anytime they pop up, I'd be like, "Who's this kind of again?" And so
Yeah.
yeah,
they didn't really spend much time differentiate. Like you don't need to introduce Jet Jaguar. We know who Jet Jaguar is, but the other three are all brand new characters, and they could have spent a little bit of time.
Yeah,
because that's the reason why you bring in the new kid. The new kid comes in, and then you don't have to spend exposition. You're just explaining to the new kid, who's also kind of like the audience, hey, this is telekinesis girl. This guy does this. This guy does that kind of deal. And,
for sure. Speaking of Jet Jaguar, he's pretty funny in this. Only able to sing his theme song and just very funny. Is that actually parts of his theme song? Because I'm not familiar with it.
I'm not
trying to look it up. I looked up a version. I didn't look too deep in like what it was, and the words were like different, but it was also very simple. This is obviously like a more thought out song than the one that I looked up. And so but yeah, they go with this whole gimmick with Jaguar the entire time, which is fun. And they also set up like there's some history with him too, which would be interesting if like we ever get to see more of this, or more of him, whether it's in like flashbacks of the book or even his own spin-off would be interesting, I think, to read as well. Like a 4-6 issue kind of miniseries, I think could work for like, oh, here's his backstory, here's kind of like what he went through, and like ends with him joining the new team or something would be cool to see. Because they do a good job with the world building and setting up a really interesting world, and that's one of the big pros I give this book for sure. So, but yeah, and then also the end of the book sets up I don't remember her name, with Jason to kind of like the start of a particular bond that they're starting to get now. And then ends with or the first issue here ends with Jason getting falling into the water and like seeing these kind of like sort of leeches, and then seeing this bad guy who he looked cool, like it's a really good shadow shot there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so but yeah, we see him deal with the leeches and stuff, and the kind of learning a little bit more like what they are as they're trying to like dissect it and saying like, oh, it can suck out power, so they're like, oh, we could try to use this to fight Godzilla, and then we see some leeches come out and stuff, and yeah, we're just seeing some interesting things as we go through this. So we do get a bit of time with like the captain, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Seeing a little bit of him and what kind of leader he is, because they focus mainly on Jason, the kaiju whisper lady whose name I don't remember, and the captain whose name I also don't remember. And so, but yeah, and we do get a bit of time of them exploring, and here we get to actually see like flashback of Jason's past with losing his mother, and look at this, look at that, that's so cool.
Oh, it's so sick.
I love the shirt. Like this is yeah. This might be my single like favorite page of the entire book. I love that. And so but yeah, but yeah, we do get a little bit of this guy being like, hey, why are you barging in here? And she's like, oh, sorry. I mean, they like I said, they set up the other characters a little bit, but then another alarm goes off and they run into pirates because there's pirates out in the sea, and smart pirates too, which is interesting. But then it turns into something worse as the leeches grow and evolve into bigger, scary versions that are also kind of terrifying. And so, but yeah, and then like also like at the end here too, like getting some more of the villains set up too, which is interesting. Of being like, oh yes, wanted to destroy Earth for whatever reason, and saying that it's used as bait for Godzilla as he's going to it, and yeah, so as we then see Godzilla start.
Oh, what a great shot!
Right,
that is a great shot.
Yeah, just pops his head up and saying like, "What's up, guys? Hello there." And just don't think the other cars seem to appreciate it, but but yeah, seeing them have to deal with the whole leech attack and stuff, and here we actually, we did actually see social media dude in use, and then he actually goes right back and take him on pictures and stuff. So got some stuff with him, and look at this. This is really cool. Like,
Oh hell yeah!
I think this is a remote controlled. I don't think anybody was actually in this, but kind of like I don't know, Pacific Rim Gundam, whatever suit. Insert choice of mech franchise suit here. And so, and we did get to see a bit of action, but then obviously Godzilla just destroys it, and yeah, I think this was another cool shot, just showing like the remnants of its like head or body, whatever part it is here.
You can't
and
F with Godzilla, man.
No, that's the one thing they do is like they, even though the book does more than just focusing on Godzilla or Godzilla being the main focal point. Like, yeah, he is one of the main, but he's not like the main necessarily.
Yeah.
They do a good job of still keeping Godzilla as Godzilla.
Yeah, this one there's different interpretations of Godzilla through his time period, and this book kind of treats Godzilla as a force of nature, not good, not evil, just unstoppable force of nature, like trying to punch a hurricane. Some books have it portrayed, or stories have him portrayed as a hero, and then other ones have him portrayed as a monster. This is more along the lines of just, this is Godzilla's here, and we're just trying to figure this stuff out in this crazy kaiju world.
Pretty much, yeah. So, yeah, and as they're trying to, and part of their plan to traverse this said world is they're like, okay, we're going to split up. We're going to like each kind of take our own ways to try to figure out what we're doing here. And so, yeah, look at this Jet Jaguar shot. That's pretty
cool. Yeah, that's my boy.
Yeah. Yeah, he just makes himself big and then goes right on down. And so, but yeah, oh yeah, Jason learns about kaiju acupuncture points to try to like be like, oh yeah, this is the most effective point. So if we can do that, we can kind of like just not necessarily kill Godzilla, but just try to, you know, put him at knock him out if need be. And so, and oh yeah, I just also love seeing Jaguar swim across the whales with the whales here. pretty funny. He's just singing the entire time.
Yep.
And so, and also seeing the whole these like tunnel systems, and that's how Godzilla gets around, is by using these tunnel systems through the earth. Because they're like, how is he able to get to one place to another so quickly? Well, this is how. And so, saying that, and then also going to the remnants of the other team goes to the remnants of one of the original G-Force sort of test sites, because led to believe that something would be there, where they then do find like digging into the underground facility and actually finding a place here. And running into that bad guy that we saw before. And so, yeah, definitely interesting. So, this is, I like this a little bit here, seeing Godzilla and Jet Jaguar get to have their own little face-off here, since they were trailing them, and being able to find them there. And yeah, Jet Jaguar just gets his moment to fight, but we see like they reference here in this fight, like, oh yeah, he's like, you know, he's outdated. Godzilla learns, but he's just a robot. He doesn't learn.
Yeah.
And so I did like that aspect of him too. Of like, I felt like that was kind of like when they really kind of like set up the history of him. I'd be like, oh well, it would be interesting to see like his first day actually fighting Godzilla in this universe, and then kind of like seeing them throughout the years or whatever. And so, but anyway, we also do see Jason do what he can against Godzilla, but that like takes out all the energy of him, and so he has to get saved. And then
I mean, he takes a full-on Godzilla blast and survives. Like this kid he's absorbing some energy.
Yeah, and yeah, like setting up that they're like the kind of like enemies of each other. Like they're trying to be like, he has the specific drive of hate against Godzilla because of his past that was we glossed over earlier. And yeah, no, it shows him of like, oh yeah, he's just really powerful. Of like, he has this super special energy that like makes him like a superhero pretty much. And so, like a super powered being, like more so than other, like we see other people with superpowers, but like more so, closer to being like your Superman of the Justice League team or something. So, but yeah, we see the other team start working with this other guy, or the bad guy, as um the captain is like, oh yeah, we could use that for like, could use those leeches to like kind of try to get Godzilla. Um, and so anyway, Godzilla then runs away and leads to this whole confrontation where he's now having to deal with the leech in the lair. And yeah, I will say I felt it a bit in the issue we just went over. But some of it was like some of the transitions of things kind of like was like really quick. Like sometimes I had to like take a moment and kind of like go back and being like, wait, what? It just kind of like goes there really quick, such as like Godzilla appearing at this in place all of a sudden. I was like, wait, what? For a moment.
Yeah, it's like the kids fighting him. They go back to the other people, and then when they come back, Godzilla's running from the kid and ends up with this leech thing. It is kind of all over the place. Like
Yeah.
It transitions very quickly, and it doesn't give some time to breathe, to where you have to go back and be like, okay, what the hell's going?
Yeah.
What did I miss a page?
Well, yeah, it also threw me off too of like when you also just see Jet Jaguar appear out of nowhere and fight Godzilla there. And then I went back to the page and I was like, oh wait, okay, that makes sense because they were following him. Okay. And so I found myself having to go back a couple times just for that reason of being like, wait, what? Or did I catch that right? Or like what, and so
yeah.
That was one of the things that definitely kind of like took me out of the book a little bit.
It can. I mean, it could ruin a story for you if you're not diligent with
it.
Yeah.
Like I said, like overall, I think it was still a good story. There's just parts of the execution that I was like, it definitely kind of took me out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So, but anyway, we do get to see some cool things though, such as look at that, big fight. Yeah. That's they do some deep double spreads in this. So not many of them, but they're cool. And so it's the whole sort of like this issue kind of in a way almost feels like the big climax because it's like, oh, all the sides are now together, Godzilla's there, and being able to deal with it all. And they're trying to deal with Godzilla and just seeing them all team up on him. Definitely the most action. Well, I guess last one's action packed too, but they do a lot with both of them. But this one's more so kind of focused on the action more than anything else. They talk about a lot of things. They aren't necessarily setting up a lot of story things in this issue. But yeah, seeing them all go up against everyone just teaming up against Godzilla and then trying to take care of the leeches and all that. And then kind of like coming to this realization too of, oh, they kind of need to try to work together. Like, oh, Godzilla's energy is starting to glow and Jason can help him now. And, tide's turning of being like, oh, wait, hold on. Godzilla's like the good guy. What did 10 out of 10 recap? There's a lot of details here I'm glossing over.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely partway through the fight, they're realizing, typical sort of three sides, and then we're like, oh wait, you're actually good, so let's help, and have to take care of the leeches and all that. And then we get this whole like drop of like, what? Did I read this right? Of like who the villain is. What did you think about that?
it's I don't know. It was kind of throwing me off too. It's like,
It didn't fully click with me until the next issue. And
yeah,
even then, I
yeah,
was like, this is weird. But
it is
essentially, the
weird.
villain is like the main character's mother, who's all of a sudden like evil now. And I didn't quite understand the motive of this one, which kind of, I don't know. I
Yeah,
guess that's kind of maybe what took me out of it was the last issue. Like I could see the story they were going for, but it was just like I think the end of the day it was just part of the execution. And I'm not sure
I think it's all
what it was.
execution. Like
Yeah,
what they're trying to do is interesting. There's an interesting storyline here, but then execution is a big one.
yeah, and it's just like I don't know. It's probably just I think the length of it was alright. It's probably just being like having to. I think it might just be for part of just needing to maybe rearrange how some parts were told and stuff, and maybe that would fix most of the issues. I think, and
Yeah,
so, but no, it was weird though. And this was another one of those shots that took me a moment of being like, wait, what happened? Because they're in the underground place, and the next thing you see, there's Jason giving Godzilla the uppercut of his life or whatever there into New Vegas there, and it's just like, wait, what? What happened? They were just underground.
yeah,
Uh, and so, is the base in Vegas under Vegas? What's going on here? So, but yeah, we see Godzilla in Vegas, which I think is a really cool scene to have Godzilla in. Love that to be a location. I love all just like how all the city lights and stuff kind of look with it. Although definitely have been cool to try to get some more city shots of it in general. But like this first shot there where you get to kind of like see some of the stuff is cool.
yeah.
But yeah, we see Jason angry because he then realizes, uh, having the full revelation, his mother pulling the strings and being like, "Oh yeah, Godzilla's bad." And so, and like also like she's just huge too, like this huge kind of kaiju, and being like, "Ah, yes, I'm the anti Kaisei. I'm all the bad things," and I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. I guess I just kind of want a more villain setup or something. Of being like, I don't mind these concepts. It's just, I don't know. Maybe the series will kind of later get into what some of these things are,
Yeah,
because like we this issue does just mainly focus on the confrontation between Jason and Godzilla here, where they have this whole on fight with each other. And then we do get this part two of the rest of the team having to deal with the bad guy. Um, but then the kaiju mind kind of just person goes into like their minds and stuff and is able to look through all these things and um, try to figure out what to do in this case. And yeah, it's just weird too because she literally just grows wings and then leaves, and so that's the other thing too of like she kind of just leaves and then we get all this stuff here of just like the whole final bit of what wait, I'm trying to remember what happened here at the end. I'm just like it was weird because it's like Jason like absorbs Godzilla because
yeah.
being able to realize like Godzilla is sick or something and that he is weakened and all this stuff. And so then they're left in the aftermath of all this and seeing them still have to deal with all these parts. And next thing we know, uh, he has like the like Godzilla Kaisei spirit where it's like Jason is now
He has like
Godzilla.
the ability to turn into a big energy Godzilla with him in the middle of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, doing something bold of like killing Godzilla off at the end, which is definitely a bold move. Like I said, like I respect the big kind of story decisions it goes for, and I think all the ideas behind it is interesting. But just as we keep on bringing it up, there's definitely some parts of the execution. I think the biggest problem for me, I'd say bigger than the characters, introducing, because I mean, after a bit, you're kind of just able to accept it. Like, okay, yeah, these people are just they're part of the team, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But the other thing was just really for me was just the whole. I need to have like a good villain motive, like especially if it's somebody that you once knew and turns. It's like this person's just like, oh, Godzilla did this thing to me, and now I'm just bad. It's like what?
Yeah, it needs another issue's worth of pages
Yeah, it just
inserted
needs
in
some more.
areas to really make this flow and make more sense. Like I feel there's good storyline here, but at
Yeah,
the same time, like you've been saying, it's the execution and the execution of it, and moving too fast and not letting stuff breathe, and then also, and then maybe I don't know. We're both writers, and I know sometimes you can run into a problem of you want to get so quickly, you want to get to the end.
well, that's
But
another
you don't.
problem too with
Yeah,
telling stories in the comic medium. Is there's a lot of stories where they kind of wait to hit that big thing, but you got to get people in on that first issue and give as much as
yeah.
you can, right?
The,
And
the pathway is just as
yeah,
important as the destination. And if you're working so hard to get to that destination, because it's so cool, the idea that you have of this kid essentially absorbing Godzilla and becoming a human embodiment of Godzilla, that you don't allow the rest of the story to cook enough. And that's where you start running into these problems where we're kind of like, wow, this is moving like I'm missing pages. Like what's going on here?
it was
And
one of those stories too where there's a lot of comics that I can just kind of like open up and it's like hard for me to put down. But this is one where I like had to take a break between every issue.
yeah,
It was hard for me to just binge it, and I think it was kind of just of its pacing of being all over the place, and maybe just needing a moment to take it all in. And like, I don't mean that as like there's some great comic series out there where I kind of only read one issue at a time. Like some of
yeah,
the all-time best series, like Crisis on Infinite Earths or Watchmen, I can only read one issue at a time because it's so much to digest, and I got that from this. Um, but
like
yeah,
the other two are definitely more smoother to read than this one. The
yeah.
the Dead Zone, and then the one where they're traveling around in the Mecha Godzilla
Oh yeah,
spacecraft.
that'll be
Yeah,
interesting to get to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check those out.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, we should probably throw those on the list to
yeah,
do. Is now
we'll
that we're
definitely
doing
do
this
that.
one. Yeah,
Definitely. We'll
because
mix
those
in
are
some.
also very interesting concepts too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I guess a lot of people may not realize how rich the world of Godzilla comics is. There's actually a good bit of Godzilla stories out there. Like even before this whole Kaisei area,
yeah.
or stuff like what is it? I've heard the like Godzilla Here There Be Dragons is really good, or and
Well,
they made like a dragon of that, and
IDW, bless their hearts. You know, everyone's struggling, and when you get
yeah.
something that's even halfway hot, you beat that horse until it is dead, and there's
Yeah,
nothing to get beaten out of. And they are putting Godzilla. It's kind of like with the turtles. Turtles are
yeah,
showing up everywhere because
yeah,
Last Ronin re-energized the Ninja Turtle
right,
deal, and
yeah,
now Godzilla being energized in the zeitgeist with Minus Zero, the legendary movies, and all this
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Now IDW's like, who do you want to team up with Godzilla next? Sonic? Let's do
We're seeing them
My
all.
Little
Yeah.
Ponies, like
Oh, well, they haven't done, have they?
Hello Kitty. I mean,
Oh. That might get me to buy a My Little Pony book if they put
dude, I'm all
Godzilla in.
along with Godzilla versus My Little Ponies. I don't even know anything about My Little Ponies.
Yeah, right.
I will definitely read that book.
I'm in. Give it to
I
us
am
now. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, no, like I don't even like Power Rangers, and I read that Godzilla Power Rangers one, and I like the Godzilla side of the story. To nobody's surprise, I didn't like the Power Ranger side of the story, but
I did like the Turtles one. The Turtles one was pretty good. So
see, I read the issue of that. I wasn't a fan of the first issue, so I didn't read it anymore. Hope it gets better. I did follow all of the first Justice League one. I like that one. And then I followed the Marvel one shots, but they're on like their third mini, like counting the series of one shots, their third series now of
Yeah.
Godzilla tie-ins. Which
And what's interesting with those one is that DC and Justice League is the legendary Godzilla, and then the Avengers are taking on the Toho Godzilla.
Yeah,
because they're two separate IP entities essentially. So
yeah, well, yeah, because Marvel's had a good relationship with sure Japanese side, like people there, because they also did like 3, I want to say, and a crossover with Ultraman.
oh yeah, they did Ultraman. Marvel's kind of dipping their toes in the Japanese market. Like if on the Viz Media app is there's a couple ongoing Spider-Man ones. The Deadpool manga has been actually really decent. I've enjoyed that one. You get to see. I wish they would bring over some of these Japanese manga artists to do.
That'd be interesting.
Runs in because like the guy who does One Punch Man, Murata's done a bunch of Spider-Man artwork, and I would sell a kidney to read Murata Spider-Man drawn by Spider-Man drawn by Murata. Like, I mean, he's just the One Punch Man artist is amazing. So yeah, I wish some of these we would get some of those crossovers. They haven't quite dipped into it yet, but you can see authentic manga stories with Marvel characters. There's been some DC ones too. This really great concept, which I never got the chance to read it yet, but essentially it's like Batman gets reversed into a child, a baby, and he's being raised by the Joker. And like the Joker's like actually protecting it. It seems like an interesting.
Oh yeah, yeah. I haven't checked that out either. I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Speaking of crossovers, I did really like this variant cover, which Dan Jurgens actually did the pencils of.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And so classic Death of Superman homage there for that last issue. I remember seeing this cover too when it was coming out, like online. So I don't think I ever saw it in person, or else I would have been tempted to pick it up. But yeah, cool cover I wanted to show there. I like a good homage when clever. And
oh yeah.
And then also showing off those other series that we were just talking about. Starship Godzilla and Escape the Dead Zone. So, but I don't think I have anything else about this book necessarily. Do you have any closing thoughts or anything we didn't necessarily cover?
If you're a huge Godzilla fan, I would say give it a shot. It's
I would
a
agree.
New take on it. And yeah, it's there's lots of love to the lore. And the artwork's good, it's a little bit of a slow read because there's spots where they move so quickly that you kind of you might get lost. But aside from that, though, I would still recommend it, especially for a Godzilla fan, and if you just want to read something different, and if you have the Global Comics app, it's all there. So
yeah. IDW seems to put all their stuff like day one on there, which I don't understand. But like, hey, I'll take it. I'll check out. I'll definitely be checking out more, and probably be reviewing some of them sooner than later. But definitely some cool stuff that they got going on. But yeah, I definitely agree with the overall sentiment. If you're a Godzilla fan, I definitely think it's worth a shot. I think any big Godzilla fan would appreciate the big swings at the end, even if it doesn't maybe fully work for you on a personal level. I would still say give it a shot, just because I think it's always worth recognizing when trying to do something new and clever, even if not fully done correctly. And so,
give it a shot. Especially if you read digital and you already have Global Comics, I would say it's definitely well worth it. It's on there. And then if you like it, the graphic novels are out, and the collected. Mm-hmm. I have a collected of Dead Zone and the Starship Godzilla. So I mean,
there you go.
It's I think it's worth a shot to give it a takedown.
Definitely give it a go. And I guess that'll do it for this review. Where can the people find you at?
Just follow the link in the description. I spend most of my time on YouTube. I'm currently drawing out my entire next series, How the Squirrels Saved Longview. I just recently did a script rewrite, which led me to doing like 12 to 15 new pages of redraws. So every week I'm on there, Tuesday, Wednesdays, sometimes Saturdays and Sundays, depends on how work is. But yeah, I'm creating an entire comic book live on YouTube, and I have an amazing chat. And if you want to come in and have a good time, talk with some amazing people, and ask me questions and learn about making, or at least how I make comic books, it's always a good time. So like and subscribe to there, as well as if you follow the link tree, you'll see my new, I don't know if it's Ko-Fi or how they pronounce it, Kofi or Coffee, but it's the my website now essentially has a store, and in that store you can pick up my comic book, The Adventures of Sig and Joe, 226 pages of the first arc. It's my first series attempt, an ongoing series, and it is also all available on Global Comics. So either through digitally on Global Comics, or if you want to pick up the sweet graphic novel, both are available through that link tree.
Awesome. Yeah, link will be down below. And then also make sure you hit that like and subscribe so you don't miss when we do more of these reviews and any other comic content, whether it's with other comic creators during interviews, Dingus questionnaires with them.
Dingus is putting out awesome interviews, people in the business, indies, fun content, talking about movie stuff, TV, D&D. Just follow this man. He's doing God's work, and he's putting out good stuff.
I'm busy.
He's very busy.
And you wonder why I tire myself out. Anyways.
Easily, probably the only person I would say is busier than I am. So,
are you though? I don't know. Anyway, well, thank you so much, and thank you all, everybody, for watching. And we'll see you next time here at the Dingus Den. Laters, everybody. Bye.